Alrighty, you're live, Jalen. Have a good forum. Talk to you later.
Thank you, Emmanuel.
Okay, hello everyone. We're going to get started with the election forum. So welcome to the Spring 2021 Election PSA Forum. I'm Amaya Connor, and I'm one of the representatives for the SGA Election Board. So let's get started. So the procedures that will go as follows for tonight. The class officers and Senate candidates will have 3 minutes for their opening speeches. Executive office candidates will have 4 minutes for their opening speeches. All questions will be reviewed by the election board and they will be asked according to relevance and appropriateness. All candidates will have 1 minute to respond to questions. Please remain muted for the duration of the forum unless prompted to speak. And please submit all questions to Director Jalen Brown or Deputy Director Ayana Hudson. So, and also I will set a timer just so we can know your limit. So let's get started with the P2 class officer candidates. First up, we have Miss P2 candidate, Aaliyah Evans.
Hello, you guys. My name is Aaliyah Evans, and I am a Miss P2 candidate for the academic year of 2021-2022. My campaign was Simply Fresh, being an acronym for simply fulfilling our realistic excellence through service and hard work. And I will stand by this as your Miss P2 when implementing my plans. Being realistic. So I believe that we need to maintain a realistic approach, especially during this pandemic. Excellence. The reason I chose Xavier University College of Pharmacy was because of its mission and the excellent representation of the pharmacists produced by the college. I appreciate the exemplary role models who came before me, and I want to continue the legacy of excellence through leadership and service as an ambassador of the Class of 24, the College of Pharmacy, and Xavier University, which brings me to service. I will uphold Xavier University and the College of Pharmacy mission by promoting service within our community. I plan to incorporate minimal class service hour requirements each semester, focusing on uplifting the youth, the next generation, and being that role model someone once was to me. And lastly, hard work. I am dedicated, determined, and committed to serving you throughout my term as your P2 ambassador. These are the reasons why I chose to run for Miss P2 and my plans if selected. I am determined to serve you as your Miss P2, keeping the student body's interest in mind. So let's have a Simply Fresh year. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So let's see. If y'all have any questions, please submit them, like I said, to Jalen or Ayana. But if not, we do have questions that we could ask you. You want to ask a question, Jalen?
Okay. So the first question is, what are your plans for the upcoming school year if elected?
So I have 2 major plans. My first plan deals with service. So I plan to incorporate a minimum service class service hour requirement each semester, mainly focusing on like the youth. So this may be, like having a class service day where we volunteer at the YMCA or STEM NOLA or a local area school, something like that. And then my other plan is to engage more student activities and safe student interactions which follow the university and CDC guidelines.
Okay, thank you so much for your question. Next up, we have the P2 class secretary candidate, Taylor Guillory. We're ready when you are, Taylor.
Okay, I'm ready. Good evening, my fellow classmates. My name is Taylor Guillory, and I am from the very small town of Lawtell, Louisiana. I want to start off by saying how very honored and excited I am to be a part of this P1 class. The conditions that we have had to face are not ideal, but we are absolutely making the best of them. My campaign is centered around Formally Matters 2.0. I currently serve as Ms. P1, so I fully understand the responsibilities that come with being on our Class E board. Matters and Family Matters is an acronym for manifestation, assertiveness, tradition, taking action, ethics, respect, and social justice. And so I'll just explain it quickly. I believe that everyone's life experiences are dependent on their mindset, so it is important that you always manifest your dreams and goals. It is extremely necessary to be assertive in everything you do. Xavier has had a very long history of working for the betterment of underserved communities and minorities. As future leaders and pharmacists, we must uphold our university's long-standing tradition. As Xavier writes, we must take action in any way we need to. This means doing activities like volunteering in our community, tutoring our peers, and volunteering with our university. As pharmacy students, we are held to a very high standard when it comes to ethics, so we must display honesty, integrity, compassion, and confidentiality. Respect is necessary in building a safe and trusting relationship with everyone in our lives, our peers, our future employees, and employers. And then lastly, one of the core values of Xavier is the promotion of social justice. The goal of social justice is to aim to open the doors of access and opportunity for everyone. So these are the core values of mine that I plan to follow as your P2 secretary. Remember to vote Taylor Guillory. Thank y'all.
Thank you so much, Taylor. So for the question and answer, do we have a question in the chat?
There's a question. It says, how do you anticipate promoting class morale in the midst of the pandemic?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Jalen. Can you say it again?
Yes.
Wait.
How do you
anticipate
promoting class morale in the midst of the pandemic?
Hold in class, what? I'm so sorry. I still can't hear.
How do you anticipate promoting class morale in the midst of the pandemic?
So as Ms. P1, like that's kind of our job, you know, to promote class morale. So I plan on doing this just by hosting Zoom, like if COVID doesn't permit us to actually have in-person interactions, just host like Zoom sessions to get to know each other. Cause that was like a really big plan of mine for this semester, was just allowing our class to bond. And because of COVID, we didn't really get to do that. So that's how I plan on kind of boosting our morale, is with, you know, getting to know each other.
Okay, thank you. For the next candidates, we have the P2 class vice president, Joy Coleman and Taylor Monty. We're gonna do Joy Coleman first, please.
Okay, I'm ready. Good evening, everyone. I hope you all had a successful week as well as a great start to your semester. My name is Joy Coleman and I am aspiring to be your P2 vice president. Today, I want to talk to you guys about trust and transparency. As many of you may know, this week I wanted to hear from you about what trust means to you and what transparency means to you. Understanding how you value those words will not only help me effectively communicate with you, but also effectively advocate for you. We'll be spending the next 3 years together, and those two components are very vital in the functionality of our class. Our class has faced so many challenges this year, and next year I plan to continue advocating for you guys as P2 vice president. I want to continue elevating our class by providing community service opportunities, professional development events, more student social interactions, as well as contributing to more academic events like the P1 Power Up that eBoard held yesterday. I believe I'm the best candidate for this position because not only am I a great leader, I am a diverse one. I have been very involved at Xavier since I first stepped foot on campus. I have been on the executive boards of many different organizations such as Alpha Lambda Delta Honor Society, National Society of Leadership and Success, Peer Dean Planning Committee, a community service site leader, a general chemistry tutor and drill instructor, as well as working as a pharmacy intern and a research student with Dr. Sarohi. All of these positions has prepared me to adequately serve as your current P1 Vice President and hopefully your P2 Vice President. During our first semester, many students decided to continue their education virtually for safety reasons. Understanding that now virtual events are our new normal, I want to incorporate more social events for our class via Zoom. These events will consist of icebreakers, games, and team building exercises. These different events will allow us to get to know each other, which is extremely important because we will be working together now, in the next few years, and maybe in future pharmacy settings. Although if this was a normal year, we'll most likely got to know each other better, but it's always better late than never. As I conclude this speech, I want everyone to remember why they came to Xavier University of Louisiana's College of Pharmacy. As your Vice President, I will continuously remind you to remember your why. Why did you choose to come to Xavier? Why did you choose to become a pharmacist? Always remember to keep that at the forefront of everything you do. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to my speech, and don't forget to vote Joy Coleman for P2 Vice President starting Thursday, February 25th via XConnect. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joy. Next, we'll have Taylor Monty.
Hi, everybody. My name's Taylor Monty, and I am a 22-year-old P1 student from New Orleans. I wanted to start off by saying a little bit about myself. I have belonged to a wide variety of clubs at a wide variety of universities. I started my college career at ULM and at UNO. I moved home to UNO because distance was a little too far for me, and I helped in taking care of my elderly grandmother. Now back to the good stuff. I belong to a variety of clubs in the College of Pharmacy, but serving as your vice president would be my main priority. There'll be no question as to who I am or what my job is for our class. I do attend classes almost always in person unless there is a scheduling conflict, so I am always available and able to be approached. I'd like to believe that I'm a great multitasker and I enjoy working with others for one goal, but I will always put our class first. I am readily available and accessible to everyone. Leadership is not something I stray away from, and I want to prove this to you by being your advocate as Xavier students, but more importantly, as pharmacy students. Just to give you all some background on my leadership skills, I have successfully run a summer camp which hosts anywhere from 50 to 100 campers for the entirety of the summer for 2 years, and I've been previously working there as lifeguard and as the main counselor. I think this shows that I'm a team player, a leader, a good communicator, and that I'm someone that you can trust and respect. I hope to take my experience to reinvigorate the role of P2 Vice President and to help the e-board in getting the most out of our P2 year. If I am elected, I hope to incorporate in-person service events when available, such as days like Saturdays at the Second Harvest Food Bank, packaging boxes and other large containers for the homeless. I would also like to use some professional development in the form of getting guest speakers such as pharmacy owners and board of pharmacy members to speak with us. I want to safely engage the class in in-person class activity nights, whether that be at Rock and Bowl or the Pelicans game. I want to serve our class. I hope you can keep me in mind when voting on Thursday. Thank you.
Thank you, Taylor. Now we'll move on to questions and answers. We have one in the chat. Let's see. And we'll start with Joy. What involvement have you had at Xavier that make you feel, it's a typo. What involvement have you had at Xavier that you feel make you qualified for VP? Sorry.
It's okay. I've actually, like I said, I was involved in a lot of executive positions on campus, that being different positions on each executive board. So I feel like I am really a diverse leader with knowing the different aspects of being a part of an executive board, taking into consideration that I've been almost everything on one. So I feel like my involvement on campus as far as like incoming freshmen with the peer deans and community student network, I feel like I'm very diverse, and those involvement has helped me understand who I need to talk to when I need this, or who do I need to advocate for our students to make sure that we get this done, or to make sure that their answers and their concerns are being heard. So yeah.
Thank you for your answer. Let's see. Jalen, do you want to do the second question?
How can you both apply your experiences to this position? We can start with Taylor.
I think that my experiences, both as a transfer student coming into Xavier to finish my undergraduate prerequisites, and just as a pharmacy student, can help me to better lead our class. Just in my experience, I have worked in an independent pharmacy for about 5 years. So I'm happy to help all of my classmates with like therapeutic questions. I was actually leading a class of little study session today to get some help. I'd like to introduce a larger array of study groups and help maintaining that. I would like to I want to do more of the service and the professional development, and I believe that my experiences, both at Xavier and professionally, can help me do that.
Okay, Joy.
Can you repeat the question for me?
How can you apply your experiences to this position?
Okay, so I'm also currently P1 vice president, so I understand the different aspects that go into being on this specific e-board. Coming in, we assumed a lot of things that didn't go the way that we thought it would go, but now it's like this semester we're getting everything on track, we're understanding everything. So I feel like next year I will be able to adequately make sure everything is getting done in a timely manner, because I know the ropes, if that makes sense. I understand who we need to talk to, when things need to be handled, and how they need to be handled. So I feel like that's how my experience would help contribute to that.
Okay, thank you so much, Joy.
Thank you.
We're gonna move forward. Okay, next up we have P2 class president candidate, Hanan Hanawi.
Hey everyone, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Hanan Hanawi. I'm actually P1 class president, and I actually think I'm running unopposed for P2 class president. So I just wanted to come on here and say thank you guys, thank you to my classmates, thank you to upperclassmen, thank you basically to everyone who's helped Xavier feel like home. Coming as a transfer student, it was a little hard to transition from my home, my undergrad home, to the professional school. So I really want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I ran for office last semester because I wanted to get involved, and I've made so many friends along the way. I've had so many doors and opportunities open here at Xavier, so I'm really blessed to come to school here. I also want to say I am deeply humbled by the support, and I just want to assure you that I'm going to work day and night. I'm going to make sure that concerns are heard and problems are addressed. And whether you voted for me or not in last election or this election, I just want to let you know that I am dedicated to serving my classmates, and I'm trying my best to make sure we are having the best experience possible during this pandemic. So thanks.
Okay, so now I have a question. What are you most excited about implementing this year?
So I've been doing my best to not only make plans for this semester where it only lasts a semester, but where we can extend it for the next 4 years. So if you're in the College of Pharmacy, I hope you are aware of our CANS Wars that is going on. It's our first year, and I'm hoping that for the next 4 years, I can keep this going to where when I finally graduate from Xavier, they have a 5th, a 6th, a 7th, and 8th. So I'm not only just making plans for this semester, but I'm making plans for our future, for the next 4 years, and hopefully for the rest to come.
Thank you.
Okay, next we'll do our P3 class officer candidates. First up, we have Mr. P3 candidate, Jared Pratt.
Good evening, everyone. I would first like to start off by thanking you all for this opportunity. My name is Jared Pratt. I am running for the class of 2023, Mr. P3. As Mr. P3, I will continue the tradition in which previous pharmacy students has done in the past. I will dedicate my time to both the class of 2023, the entire COP, as well as serving the community. My campaign slogan was to work for success and to strive for greatness. No, this was not a catchy phrase, but this is something that I use as a personal mantra that keeps me going through the rigors of pharmacy school. And hopefully this slogan can also do the same for you all. So thank you for this opportunity once again, and hopefully I can be the best candidate that I can be.
Okay, Jaylee, you want to do the question?
Okay, so how will you incorporate the mission of Xavier in your reign or position?
Mainly by serving the community, helping those who are less fortunate than us, and also by providing. Hopefully, I would like to incorporate more meetings with the College of Pharmacy, discussing the racial and also the gender differences that is in our profession in the College of Pharmacy as well.
Thank you, Jerry.
Okay, next up we have Miss P3 candidate, Tori Wiley.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tori Wiley, and I am excited to serve the class of 2023 as your Miss P3 in the next academic year. My goals for next year is to make sure our class, the class of 2023, is academically successful, can develop professionally, and can connect. I developed a 23-item strategy, or what you may have heard throughout the campaign, 23 ways to make sure of this. Some of those tasks include being a liaison with our course tutors to ensure the tutors are aware of where we are in the course calendar and can offer us the most value in our tutoring sessions. To offer professional development sessions before and or at the start of P3 year to prepare for opportunities that come along in the year or when we start P4. And find ways to safely connect on and off campus, including an outing or game night that allow us to bond and to relax. I welcome any and all questions at this time. Thank you.
What drives you to be a student leader at Xavier?
What drives me to be a student leader is knowing that we can be the difference we want to see. And being a student leader in the past have shown me all of the things that we can provide our class and what we can provide our community. So I just do it for our class. I do it for us. Everything is going to be what we make it. Thank you.
Thank you for that answer. Next, we're going to move on to.
We have one more question.
Okay, sorry.
Tori, what does Miss P3 mean to you?
Miss P3 means properly representing. That's what that means to me, properly representing and making sure that our class is understood, heard, and their needs are met.
Okay, thank you. Next up, we have P3 class Vice President candidate, Tyler Court.
Hi, how are y'all? My name is Tyler Corte. I'm running for P3 Vice President. So as a VP, I will be on my fellow classmates' side for all matters. If there are any problems that need to be addressed, I want to be the person that my class goes to and reach out to, knowing that I'll be on their side in the best interest of the class and trying to handle it accordingly. I hope to be able to bring the class together for activities like fundraisers, class outings, and study sessions. And I know the past year has been difficult, but as a class, we must remain optimistic and make the most out of what is to come. We're halfway through finishing pharmacy school, and I look forward to serving my class and making up for the lost time that we have together during the pandemic. Thank you.
Okay, so how would you maneuver and deal with means of conflict you could possibly encounter during your position?
Well, if there's any problems or conflicts in my position, I plan to work on it with my fellow student government of my class and working with the teachers to come to a solution to the problems.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you.
Okay, next up we have P3 class president candidate Malia Mayweather.
Hi everyone, my name is Malia Mayweather. You probably all know that already. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm a P2 and next year I'm going to be your P3 class president. I'm super excited. I can't wait. For anybody who knows me, knows that I love to serve. I love to help. I love to be involved. That's where I thrive most. And I feel like being P3 class president next year, I will really be able to advocate for my class, as well as expand roles within our e-board. Being vice president this year has really taught me, this is student government. Like, you can really make whatever you want because it's student led. So I really want to expand roles next year, and I just want to have fun. I know COVID and everything's up, but like some of my fellow class peers have said, like they want to have Zoom events and other things. And I want to do just that as well for the P3 class, while still focusing on our academics, like Tori said, by having developmental things, working with the tutoring, the AAP tutorers and things of that nature, making sure that we have what we need to succeed here as P3s. And with this being our last semester on campus, I want to make sure that we make it the best it can be. So thank you guys. Don't forget to go vote, and I can't wait to be your president.
All right, Malia, how do you plan on satisfying your peers' concerns during your position?
So if I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna steal some things that the current president is doing. He sends out a doc after our exams, a Google Doc for us to post our questions that we may have for the professors. So I'm going to continue doing that as well. And I may potentially do like feedback surveys because, I want to have events next semester and do things, whether it's going to be virtually or, hopefully we can do some sort of in-person events. So say I have an event, maybe the e-board work together to create a feedback survey to see, if they really even like the event. I want to host things that my classmates are going to like and enjoy and not enjoy. So I guess to answer that question, just doing some of the same things that the current president is doing, as well as implementing maybe surveys throughout the semester to make sure that I'm doing my job the best way I can.
Thank you, Malia.
Okay, next up we have the P4 class officer candidate and Tyler Johnson, Mr. P4 candidate. Ready when you are.
Hi, how y'all doing? Okay, so as a P4 candidate, but as a P4 candidate, right? So my main goal for next year is just serve as much as possible and just be that shoulder to lean on, right? So it's our last year, P4s, right? We're supposed to be the examples. Supposed to be the mentors. We're supposed to be the ones for guidance. So my main thing is just make sure everyone gets through, right? My fellow classmates gets through, right? Help our peers, the P2s, P3s, P1s, right? Because I know personally, I know I was helped a ton, right? Anytime I had a question for an upperclassman, they would always be there, right? And I just want to be that guy as well. That's it.
Tyler, what issues do you hope to address in this role?
Just right, as I mentioned earlier, just being the support, and also a big thing that I miss about being in class, right? You miss that connection you have with like the other classes. So one big thing I want to focus on is like having events where like P4s can meet the P2s or P1s and vice versa, and bridge that gap.
Thank you, Tyler.
No problem.
Okay, next we have Miss P4 candidates, Morgan Jackson and Dominique Jones. And we'll start with Morgan Jackson, please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Morgan Jackson, and I come to you today running for Miss P4. I'd like to start off by telling you guys a little bit about myself. I am from Houston, Texas. I am currently the president of SNAFA. I am on the e-board of Kappa Psi Pharmaceutical Fraternity Incorporated, as well as a member of many other organizations. I am hardworking, dedicated, and very goal-oriented, whether it's personal goals, job goals, school-related goals. I like to make it my mission to complete any task just to continuously better myself and hopefully people around me. It will be a pleasure to serve as the 2021-2022 Miss P4. This is our last year together as a class, and we've been through so much, especially this year. I want to make it my mission that we end on a good note, together, united. One idea I have for next year is to have possible social events periodically after each rotation, just a chance to unite with each other, give advice possibly about the rotation or just anything. And as like a mental reset before our next rotation. I know it can get overwhelming, but this is a time that we come together before it's over. I believe I'll be a great candidate for this position because I am a team worker. I like to have fun, and I can assure you that I'll be present and making my mission to complete any task, whether it's helping any e-board member, helping the court, or anything I can just to extend a helping hand with a positive attitude. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for that. Next up, we have Dominique Jones.
Hi, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. So, good evening. My name is Dominique Jones, and I'm running for Miss P4. This election presents us with all a clear choice. It's a choice of electing leadership that can bring fresh ideas and perspectives. I believe that my experience and personality will help me offer new ideas. Above all, I believe my most important job will be to listen to you and to communicate with you regularly. This evening, I am asking for you to take a leap with me and let's explore my platform together. I want us all to soar and rise for greater, which is why I've based my platform on that one simple word, soar. So the S in soar stands for strive. I will strive to be the best at accomplishing and meeting the wishes of my fellow classmates and peers. The O stands for on task. I will exemplify leadership by helping my fellow classmates stay on top of their responsibilities and being of any assistance. A is for always. I will always represent my class well, encouraging my fellow classmates and peers to do the same. Lastly, the R stands for rise. I will rise and take charge. I will help make any changes when necessary and provide overall support to my fellow classmates so we all can rise together. As you can see, the future depends on our ability to work together. Cooperation and teamwork will get us far. If you elect me as Miss P4, I vow to lead my openness and honesty. I will lead with your best interest in mind. I welcome all ideas for making our College of Pharmacy better. My name is Dominique Jones, and take a leap with me to soar for more. Vote me Miss P4. And thank you for listening. Some things I do want to provide for the next year. is one thing like interview sessions, whether that's like for residencies or fellowships, or just even working like retail or any other settings. I really feel like that's very vital for us as P4s because we're about to move on to the next chapter of our lives. And I feel like that's very, something that will prepare us for the future and, for things to come, whether that's just getting landing jobs or just any other opportunities that requires us to lead. Also, I want to incorporate something like drug of the day because as I mentioned, we're P4s and, it's our last year and we're going to be, cramming and try to remember all those drugs and like everything that incorporates that. So I feel like that'd be something really cool because it's top 300 drugs. So I think that's something that would be very like vital for us just as like quick reminders where we either just send it through email or through our group message. And another thing I would like to do is like for P4s to try to host like some events with the underclassmen, like with P1s to P3s. I feel like that will help us to kind of serve as mentors when we do have the chance to do so and just to lead, by example, because, we are going to be the highest amongst the class and amongst the College of Pharmacy. And I feel like that's something, to give, students hope and just give them examples and just role models.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to the question portion. Ayana, you can take over now.
All right. So this question applies to both candidates. How would you fulfill this position differently than the person currently elected?
I can go first. One idea to have differently. I will try to make it more of a mission to include the full class, just like I said, in periodic social events to where we can stay together as a class and be united. Yeah.
I'll try to do things like to help, I guess, the other classmates that P4s are still involved because I know like our last year we don't get to do much. So I guess trying to incorporate events to show that, even when you become a P4, you can still become involved. So just trying to find events where we can either, connect with the underclassmen or just doing other things like doing service on the weekends if we can, or just, something different because I know we don't get to do, a lot of P4s don't get to do that in their last year.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have P4 class secretary candidate, Malia Collins.
All right. Hey, everybody. So my name is Malia Collins. I'm currently a P3, and I'm running for P4 class secretary for the 2021 to 2022 school year. So I do have previous experience as a secretary prior to beginning my studies at Xavier, very detailed, and I can effectively prepare and keep record of various meetings, events, and ideas that will come about. I can and will offer support in order to help things run in a smooth fashion. I'm able to contribute my own thoughts and ideas while being fully open to the ideas of others. I will be a shoulder to lean on and will advocate for any and everything in the best interest of our class and the student body. I collaborate well with others and I'm fully prepared to work alongside the remaining elected e-board members to serve the College of Pharmacy in the best way possible. But more than just the technical aspect of what comes with being secretary, this is going to be our last year in pharmacy school. We're all going to be kind of going our separate ways, doing rotations and residency track and just preparing for our futures. And our class is pretty large and things can sometimes become hectic as far as dates, events, interactions with professors, interactions with our classmates in other classes like the P1 through P3. So my ultimate goal is to serve as an anchor for our class to keep everyone organized and calm and collected, especially during this trying and stressful time. Mental health is something that's very important to me. I currently serve as the leader of the VIMS mental health group. So strengthening that among our class is one of my main priorities in addition to my routine duties as secretary. We're going through something completely new and we're still and will continue to persevere through this pandemic. With that, I encourage you to vote me for secretary. I thank y'all for this opportunity and for your time, and I assure you that it will not be in vain.
Okay, so your question is, how do you plan to make a positive impact in your intended position?
So the main way, like I said, is to just incorporate. I don't want to just be the typical secretary. Like, it's kind of underrated what a secretary does. Like, it's more than just taking notes or keeping record of what's going on technically in meetings. I want to be able to build a closer relationship with my classmates, to check up on them with surveying, and just more interaction, since we're going to be going our separate ways. And then we're also in a pandemic, not able to interact as much. And I know me personally, that's taking a toll on me. So I just want to be sure to empower everybody else in that way. So that's the main way I want to make an impact. Also, with that, I do want to have more like bonding events, as some of the other candidates have said, not only among our class, but with other classes, because I do feel that disconnect. And more community service events. I feel like the pandemic has also kind of put a damper on that. Like, there's still things available for us to do, but I want to kind of innovate and figure out a way for us to be able to do more.
That was a good answer. Thank you.
Okay, next candidate is the P4 class treasurer candidate, Andre Robichaud.
Robichaud, can you see me?
Yes, and I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no, you're fine. Thank you. Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Andre Robichaud. I'm currently a P3 and I am running for P4 class treasurer. I decided to run for a class position simply because I love my classmates and truly cherish the family atmosphere that we have built over the years. You all have truly been a pivotal part of my matriculation through this program, and I just want to be able to give back any way that I can. I believe that the best candidate for this position, because not only do I have good budgeting and money management skills, I am also class. Honesty, integrity, transparency, and professionalism are all values that I hold near and dear. And even in the midst of a pandemic, we as a class have a right to decide how our budget should best be spent. Although I am running for class treasurer, I am ready to serve in whatever way I am needed by my classmates. If elected, this will be my first time serving in a class e-board position. So I am just so excited and ready to get to work. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Diamond. Y'all are so sweet.
Okay, so you mentioned that this would be your first class position. So congratulations. But your question is, what challenges do you foresee with your position and how do you plan on overcoming them?
Well, as I said, this will be my first time, in a class treasurer position ever. So I know that there will be a learning curve as far as, figuring out what my duties are, what my job description is, what I can't do as far as PSA. By maintaining a positive attitude, making sure that I'm involving my classmates always, getting their opinion, taking their thoughts and opinions into consideration when making any decisions, and making sure that I'm representing them first and foremost.
Thank you.
Okay, next up we have P4 class vice president candidate, Kirsty Freebert.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name's Kirsty Freebert, and I'm running for P4 Class Vice President for 2021-2022 school year. I'm super excited about the opportunity to represent our P4 class as Vice President and make our last year the best year possible while keeping it running smoothly and efficiently. I've been very involved in the College of Pharmacy while being in clubs, serving on e-boards, and being an RX peer. I'm very dedicated to working closely alongside the rest of the e-board, as well as being ready to step in if the elected president is ever unavailable. P4 year, as I can imagine, is going to be extremely stressful as we're preparing to step into the next chapter of our lives. Therefore, I'm extremely dedicated to putting my full effort into this leadership opportunity and be the best vice president for the P4 class, making sure all the dates, events, activities, for examples, are all well communicated to my classmates and that no one feels left behind. I believe I'm a super hardworking, organized, approachable, goal-oriented, responsible, and positive applicant for this position. If elected as P4 class vice president, I'll make sure to promote and encourage mental wellness and positivity throughout not only the P4 class, but the College of Pharmacy as a whole, as pharmacy school, as we all know, is no walk in the park. I want to make sure the P4 class leaves and graduates pharmacy school as a close-knit group, and I plan to make sure to the best of my ability that we don't grow apart as a class due to being in different rotations or being in different settings. So with this, thank y'all. And the girl with the smile will go the extra mile. Vote Kirsty P4 class VP. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So your question is, what issues do you hope to address in your role as VP?
I guess the issues that I would want to address would be like P4 year. I feel like everything's like so stressful. Like we're all preparing. Some might go off to residencies, some are trying to work retail and all that. And I just want to make sure that everyone knows exactly what's going on. Like everyone has the schedule they need and we're organized and like we know what's going on and that no one feels extra stress on top of the stress that we're already going to feel as we're preparing for this next chapter of our lives. So I want to make sure I'm that liaison between the class and like the administration and the teachers to make sure that I have everything prepared for our class and we have what we know what's going on and that anyone can come to me if they have any questions or concerns.
Thank you.
Okay, next up we have P4 class president candidates, Starjif, Xavier. Ready to go.
Good afternoon, my fellow students. I'm running for a P4 class president. In this position, I assure you I will work hard on your behalf, listen to you and your ideas, and do everything in my power to make our last school year the best it can be. As I come before you as a candidate, not only as a candidate, but also as your friend. And like a good friend, I'll be honest about the challenges our class faces. I'll do my best to communicate with you and keep you informed. As your friend, I'll also be asking you for your help. No one person has all the answers or can do all the work. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. Together, we must be strong and cooperate to achieve our goals. I believe in you. I believe in our class. I believe in our ability to work together for something great. And as a great author, Margaret Mead once said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that it ever has. If elected, I'll plan to be a strong liaison between all the students in my class and the administration. And I just dedicate to work and solve any need that any student has in our class. Thank you.
Okay, so your question is, how do you plan to make a positive impact in your position?
I plan to make, so one of the things is I'm a current Mr. P3 and working on e-board. I've been one of those people who pushes for agendas, especially when professors like come back to us and tell us it can't be done. I always be there for all my classmates and try to address some of the issues my classmate faces. And one thing I can tell you about my what positive impact I'll give, I would never give up no matter what. I know sometimes it can be crazy, but I'll keep pushing until we get the answers. And if we can't, hopefully we're not gonna get there because there's no any other person who's a good communicator as I am. And I'll just be there for that.
Good answer, thank you.
Okay, next up we have the PSA Senate candidates. And these candidates are Winston Bryant and Rowan Reagan. And we'll start with Winston, please.
Hey, you guys. I am driving currently, So I apologize, but my name is Winston. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I am very honored to be running unopposed for PSA Senate. With this opportunity, I really hope that I'm able to take my personality and my willingness and passion to work with other people and really use that for a good cause for next semester or for next school year, rather. But once again, thank you for the opportunity, and I'm looking forward to working with everybody on the PSA.
Okay, thank you for that. Rowan, you're up next.
All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Rowan Reagan. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. I'm a second-year pharmacy student from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, running for PSA Senator. I became interested in this position because of my driving passion to make sure that the student body's voice is heard and represented. As PSA Senator, I will ensure that the outlet that the students of the College of Pharmacy need to be able to be voice their matters and have their opinions heard. Ideas generated by the student body to better improve and benefit the college community will be received, comprehended, and implemented the best way possible. As PSA Senator, I will serve at the representation that the student body needs for the betterment of our college. Once again, my name is Ron Reagan and I'm running for PSA Senator.
Okay. This is a question for both candidates. I mean, you guys are already in there, right? What are your plans for the upcoming school year?
Go first. One thing I'm really big on is the trajectory for pre-pharm to pharmacy school. I think with a lot of kids who do the 2-year and then come into the program, there's a big gap in a lot of areas for incoming P1s. And I think that like from a class perspective and even like an overall College of Pharmacy perspective, I would love to like start initiating ways in which we can make the transition to pharmacy school a little bit more easier. So if even that means like a mentorship program that the PSA can offer or any other organization, I think that that would be very helpful. Just in the sense of getting everybody acclimated to what it would mean to be in professional school.
All right, so my plans is to be able to create a form or a questionnaire or a survey to help the community be like a better place, to provide feedback. Maybe the College of Pharmacy isn't what everyone wants it to be, so I just want to make sure that everyone is all on the same page, and so we can make a better change.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, next up we have the PSA Executive Officer candidates, and we're going to start with Miss College of Pharmacy candidates, LaKendra Bell and Danielle Keith. We're going to start with LaKendra for your speech. Ready when you are.
All right. Greetings. My name is LaKendra Bell, and I come before you today with hopes of becoming the next queen, the next Miss College of Pharmacy. It is a great pleasure to serve the College of Pharmacy as your queen. While in pharmacy school, I've had the opportunity to build a relationship with great individuals through my involvement in various organizations and my relationship with students and faculty. My platform is Be Proud. As pharmacy students and future doctors of pharmacy, there are a few things needed to be successful, and Proud represents that. Every day you go to work and class, perseverance is needed to keep pushing, hence the P. When things get tough, it is our responsibility to handle the pressure, the R. Never doubt a situation, always remain optimistic, the O. As students and future pharmacists, we will be working with other healthcare professionals, and it is important for us to remain united. Unity, that's what the U stands for. Lastly, we must be determined to be the best healthcare professionals we can all be. As my duties, I plan to coordinate volunteer opportunities, plan social events, and help everyone with their professional goal of hosting professional development events. I am fully committed to the responsibilities of Miss College of Pharmacy. It is my mission to make the experience of everyone in the College of Pharmacy a fun one, yet a productive one. As Miss College of Pharmacy, I will go the extra mile to help any transfer students adjust to the city of New Orleans and Xavier and the incoming P1 class. During my time here, I have been a fully dedicated student and genuinely enjoy seeing other students happy. I have spent the past 3 years laughing, learning, and crying just like the rest of you. My time in the College of Pharmacy has been no walk in the park. The support system of my family, friends, and classmates truly have gotten me through to this point. I know that I have not met many of the P1s due to COVID, but my goal for next school year is to be filled with excitement, no matter whether we're in person or virtual. I have met a few of you, and I now look forward to building great relationships with the rest of you. To the P2s, I hope that during our short time that we have had together, I have somehow helped impact your journey here, whether that happened through RX peers, relationships from undergrad at Xavier, or new bonds made within the College of Pharmacy. And to my class, to the best class that I could have ever asked to go on this journey with. Thank you for allowing me to serve as your Miss P1 and also as your P2 class vice president. Now here we are 2 years later, and I pray that you found that me in those positions helped shape us to where we are today. LOL, as they say, I love us, and our time is up next. To the current P4s, I will miss you dearly, and I know you will all go off to be great pharmacists in your respective field of interest. I'm grateful for the bonds we have made and will cherish them forever. Thank you for your mentorship, whether you all knew it or not. You helped me in some way, shape, or form. It will be with the utmost respect and dignity to serve as your Miss College of Pharmacy if granted the opportunity. In closing, thank you for your time, and do not forget to be a part of the proud family. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Lakendra. Next up, we have Danielle Keith.
Hi, you guys. Sorry about the background. Okay, I'm back. Hi, everyone. My name is Danielle Keith. I'm a third-year pharmacy student, and I'm running for Miss College of Pharmacy. I would like to first reiterate my mission statement. I would love to represent this unique cohort and set a standard of resilience during a time of uncertainty. I want to be a listening ear, an uplifter, and an inspiration. I believe I'm most qualified to be the face of Xavier. This position will allow me to encourage my fellow peers by speaking positivity into existence. Join me next year as your Miss CLP. We will overcome this pandemic together. So when coming up with this particular mission statement, I wanted to integrate what values do I portray? And that's faith, optimism, and my ability to motivate people. With such a position, this platform will allow me to exhibit all of those qualities. I want to be the face and the voice of this wonderful cohort. With this position comes a great deal of responsibility, hard work, and dedication. I know I will be held to a higher standard, and I'm ready to take that challenge. I plan on implementing study groups with the help of my e-board on Rokai, making them more fun, proactive, and productive. I want to get people more involved in community service, which will allow them to be more active with people. We're in the medical field, so I want us to be comfortable interacting with all types of people from all over. I want to bring excitement and energy into fundraising. I've been brainstorming of fun ideas with fundraising. Some are singles, speed dating. Shout out to my singles, compatibility test. I have some connects with NBA and NFL players. They could endorse and get involved. And my main purpose is we're in school to not get caught up in everything, to have fun, to relax, to enjoy the moment. Us millennials, we're overachievers. We are very overly ambitious. We don't take the time to just relax, take things in, live in the moment. And that's what I want to be better at myself and allow others to be better at. And thank you for the opportunity.
I have a question for the both of y'all. How will you incorporate the mission of Xavier in your reign, if elected?
Okay, I can go first. So the mission of Xavier, to serve the underserved. So I went to Xavier for undergrad, and then I transitioned here into the College of Pharmacy. And throughout my time here, I feel like I have exemplified that through my time. And I have the resources to make sure that gets transferred to the rest of the College of Pharmacy. Like I said, I was Miss P1, so I got to work closely with the Queen at that point to see how she did it and how everything was happened that way. When I was P2 class vice president, I made sure that we held community service events. The word got transferred to the class. And now as APHA's president, just making sure that we are helping serve everyone. It's not just about a specific organization, a person, it's about everyone.
I would like to piggyback off LaKendra what she said. I completely agree. With serving, like I said, I'll get some e-board members, get some meetings with ROCHI with the studying, help a lot of people out. And also for the community service events, I would like to get some e-board members and myself to help with community, just the underserved. And also representation is everything. I want to exemplify respect. I want to exemplify genuineness, authenticity, and just setting a standard and just being transparent, and also listen to other people's concerns and just going with the flow. Thank you.
Thank y'all for that. Okay, we're gonna move forward. Next up, we have the PSA secretary candidates. We have Victoria Fernandez, Courtney Landry, and Rakia Selman. Unfortunately, we wasn't able to join us, but we do have our video, so we'll play that first.
My name is Victoria Fernandez. Most of y'all probably know me as Tori. If you do know me, because that's normally what I go by, I am a P2 student and I am running for PSA secretary. I went to LSU for my undergraduate studies, and then I came to Xavier.
What is going on? Sorry, y'all.
Secretary. I went to LSU for my undergraduate studies, and then I came to Xavier for pharmacy school. And once I got here, I was secretary for our P1 class. And this year, I became a TA for Dr. Pramar and Dr. Wilson to help the P1s with their anatomy and pharmaceutics lab. I really like being involved in school, especially in student government, and I'd love to continue to play an active role in this upcoming school year. I'm very organized and I'm a very goal-oriented person, so I can assure you that every task will always be done effectively and efficiently. I have experience in both student government and leadership through the multiple positions I've held in undergrad and pharmacy school, so if you want someone who's decisive, determined, and dependable, vote for me. Thank you.
Okay, next up we have Courtney Landry.
Oh, okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. My name is Courtney Landry, a current P2 here at the Xavier University of Louisiana, and I'm running for PSA secretary. I feel as though I possess many qualities that are needed for a good PSA secretary. One of the main qualities that a PSA secretary needs is to be organized. This is very important because the PSA secretary is in charge of keeping track of all the PSA meeting minutes, as well as assisting the president in preparing paperwork. Aside of me possessing these qualities fit for the position, I also plan on expanding the role of PSA secretary. One of the goals I want to implement is the PSA Weekly. This will be a weekly newsletter that is sent out with a list of all the events that are going on during the week in the COP. This will be a way for my fellow peers to know about all the wonderful events each club has to offer ahead of time so that they can plan their schedule on attending the various events. Another goal I plan on implementing is building a relationship with Xavier's marketing and communication department. This way we can expand our newly growing social media and campus presence. And lastly, I plan on making each PSA general body meeting minutes present to all our fellow peers. This is something that SGA does that I feel is very important. Students should have access to the meeting minutes, especially if they missed or just want to go back. These are just some of the few plans I plan on implementing if elected PSA secretary. So remember, on February 25th, vote me, Courtney Landry, for your PSA secretary. Thank you.
Thank you, Courtney. Next up, we have Rakia Selman.
There's a quote that states, leadership is based on inspiration, not domination, on cooperation, not intimidation. So hello, College of Pharmacy. I am Rakia Selman, a second year pharmacy student, and I am confident that I possess the qualities to excel at being your next PSA secretary. I am focused on leadership, experience, and commitment. During my P1 year, I served as treasurer for the Student College of Clinical Pharmacy, SCCP, and now I currently serve as the treasurer for the Christian Pharmacist Fellowship International, CPFI, patient care vice president for APHA ASP. I am the professional development chair for the Delta Eta chapter of Kappa Psi Pharmaceutical Fraternity Incorporated and an RX peer. And I want to continue to demonstrate my leadership within the College of Pharmacy. My various roles within a college and my experience as an educator at St. Catherine Drexel Preparatory School, where I, created tests, managed grades, basically managed my whole classroom, as well as I served as the Key Club faculty advisor. And I was able to effectively communicate with students, parents, and my colleagues. And so I know these skills are transferable for the position of PSA secretary. I am more than capable of executing the duties of being recording secretary and the chief communications officer and the other duties that are required of me. I am committed to staying on top of constant and clear communication to organize monthly activities that will benefit our mental health and self-care, something that we can enjoy and distress. Also providing weekly inspirational and encouraging Bible scriptures and verses, as we are a Catholic institution, as well as providing networking opportunities and expanding our network within different pharmacists in that area. So your PSA president should be someone who has leadership, experience, and commitment. So vote for me, Rakia Selman, for PSA secretary. Thank you.
Okay, thank y'all for that. For y'all's question, we have, what distinguishes you from any other candidate?
Okay, I'll go first. So I feel like I've held many roles in undergrad and I've held a couple roles in pharmacy school. I feel like I'm very organized. I don't mind going out of my shell to interact with different people and try and form relationships. So I feel like that is what makes me a good candidate for this position, and I'm willing to go the extra mile to get the job done.
Okay, so what would differentiate me from the different candidates? Again, as I stated before, communication. And so not only just communication through emails, if I can be on campus, making sure I have that open communication with all of the student body, making sure that everything, whatever it may be, whatever concern it may be among the e-board, among the student body, that is being heard. And so I want to keep those lines of communication open. And that falls in line with whatever activities that we may do, whatever events that may be held. So I think the biggest priority is communication for me.
Okay, thank y'all for that. Next up, we have PSA Vice President candidates, Christopher Abiasoff and Jeremiah Brown. And we're going to start with Christopher, please.
You're on mute.
Sorry, can y'all hear me now? Sorry about that. My name is Christopher Abiasoff. I am running for PSA Vice President. And I'd like to start out, I'm not gonna come here and compare myself to Jeremiah. I truly admire Jeremiah and his leadership with SGA throughout this whole semester and throughout the whole year. I really want to just point out an issue that I kind of have with the school that I'd like to change. Institutional racism and racism in medicine is really the main reason I got into pharmacy school. I wanted to make a change, and I'd like to start out by just naming up some statistics that I have here. Black people are almost 2.5 times more likely to die of the COVID-19 virus than white people. 1 in 6 Black adults says they have experienced unfair treatment while getting healthcare through either at a hospital visit or anything like that. More than 70% of the deaths occurred through COVID-19 were of Black people, even though they consist of only 30% of the population. Hispanic and Black children are higher risk of contracting coronavirus and leading to hospitalization than white children. And is this because these populations are more susceptible to illness? No, it's not. It's simply racism. And where that starts is where it's learned in the schools. And believe it or not, teaching things like health inequalities, systemic and structural racism, as it impacts outcomes in medical school, is very honestly it's a controversial topic. And sure, many schools have released statements condemning structural racism in society and emphasizing its roles in health inequalities, but it's not enough. It's not enough to acknowledge these issues and post on Instagram stating them. We are in desperate need for immediate transformation of our medical curriculum to be anti-racist, actively non-racist, not just enough to acknowledge it and move on. We need top to bottom acknowledgement of racism in medicine, as well as an understanding that these practices are learned, regardless of whether or not this is an HBCU. If anything, that means we have to do more than any other school in this state. We need to dissect the ways and check the ways that we actively maintain racist structures in our internal policies in this school, as well as the actions within any other school or any other place that we do work. Predominantly, grad and professional schools are still predominantly white, middle-class settings that reinforce systems of hierarchy and privilege, deeming them resistant to change. And we simply cannot afford that. Xavier, as a whole, its population is 60.6% Black women, while Black, Native American, and Native Alaskan women are the populations most at risk for health disparities. I need to institute my two-step process in this school, top to bottom. This is not an individual effort. This is not a PSA effort. This is a school-wide effort to truly transform what it means to be a healthcare worker in Louisiana. We need to acknowledge that these schools, even this one, even Xavier University, even the College of Pharmacy, are not immune to racism. And an essential first step to building anti-racist action within this institution is to recognize it. Number one, intersectional reflections on structural racism and system of oppression and power within and outside of schools of public health and pharmacy, obviously, is key to avoiding denial and cultivating an anti-racist climate. This is a process that requires an ongoing internal evaluation, and this school needs to transform and use their privileged position to spread scientific evidence more effectively and become visible anti-racist advocates, not only after tragic events that attract media attention, but continuously in a sustainable manner. And lastly, as these institutions with an educational mandate, we need to rigorously translate the anti-racist knowledge base into our public health workforce training, which requires developing anti-racist curriculum and pedagogy. Tackling internal structures will sharpen and consolidate the identities of the school, employers, education, and research institutions, and stakeholders with political responsibilities while they actively contribute to systemically eradicating structural racism and social injustice. I yield the rest of my time. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Next up, we have Jeremiah Brown.
First, can we just acknowledge everything that Chris said? That was very well spoken, and I really appreciate everything that you just said. So good evening. Ignore my background. I have a blanket up because we don't have curtains, so I just had to do what I had to do. But I would first like to open up my speech with a quote by the revolutionary civil rights activist Malcolm X. Malcolm X once said, "I feel as though I've been asleep somewhere under someone else's control. I feel that what I am saying and thinking now is for myself. Before it was for and by the guidance of Elijah Muhammad, and now I think with my own mind, sir." That's a little quote because, it's still Black History Month. So good evening, audience members, faculty, and student leaders. My name is Jeremiah Brown, and I'm a second-year Doctor of Pharmacy candidate, and I'm running to serve as your Pharmacy Student Association Vice President. With my time here at Xavier, I've managed to become involved in a plethora of service-based organizations, such as the Peer Dean Association, class senator, site leader for the Xavier University of Louisiana Volunteer Services, previously Mr. P1 and currently the 6th Mr. Xavier University of Louisiana. Being the first pharmacy student To serve in my position on the Student Government Association Executive Board, I've managed to further develop my leadership and understand the inner workings of student government here at Xavier. One of the most proactive things the Elevate administration has done was remodeling outdated regulations that no longer serve true purpose. We've also managed to create policies that benefited the students and use our teamwork to carry those policies to administration and sign into law. And with any organizations, improvements are necessary to fit the needs of those they serve. So as Vice President, I would first like to expand the role of the position. As stated in the Constitution, the Vice President doesn't do many things. The Vice President assumes the duties of PSA President. In their absence, they prepare the agenda for Executive Committee and PSA meetings. They assist the President in supervising various committees and to succeed the President in case of the President's impeachment, resignation, inability to discharge their duties, or death. And to me, I feel like it's not enough to run an efficient e-board. I would first like for the PSA Vice President to be alongside the SGA Vice President and reside over funding for campus organizations. And in my time under the Elevate administration, we've managed to increase funding for PSA and class councils, and I would like for that to continue as Vice President. Too many times we've run out of food to feed our classmates at class meetings because it wouldn't fit in our budget. And the College of Pharmacy's tuition alone just costs $17,751. And that doesn't include any fees, technology fees, or housing for some students. The amount of debt we go into, students should not be paying for additional software for classes. Personally, I've spent $79 for Top Hat, and for Shadow Help, I spent $103.78. And I believe in these trying times, or even in general, we should not be paying for software to use once a semester, and I believe it's completely preposterous. There should be a budget in place for students in order to cover for extracurricular software. And as Vice President, I would not only like to attend student meetings, but work with the SGA Vice President to receive and review the budget for the university so that students will be fully aware of where their money is going and how to budget within our own curriculums. So in conclusion, the College of Pharmacy, I believe, has a lot of work to do in order to properly serve the student body. And as Vice President, I would like to expand my duties to further involve myself with our university's finances and budget. The Pharmacy Student Association has worked tremendously alongside the Big Five Council and the Elevate administration. And I know that I, Jeremiah Brown, would love to continue the work that we have started. So remember, vote Jeremiah Brown for Vice President on February 25th on Excavate.
Thank you all both for that. We're going to move into the question and answer portion. So for the both of y'all, what do you plan on doing for all classes if elected Vice President?
Sorry, you want to go first, please?
Just as I said, I really want to make sure that everybody knows where their money is going, because even last semester when we had to purchase Shadow Health for the first time, I didn't have money at the time. I had to use a credit card, and it really just bothered me that we have all this money that we're paying, and it's like, where does it really go? Especially if we have software such as Exemplify, which has quizzes. I just don't understand why we have to continue to pay for things out of pocket when we don't even have pockets no more. I'm already thousands of dollars in debt, and I'm buying more things, and it just doesn't make sense. So I really want to work with administration and faculty and have them explain to us and to understand, and for them to understand, that we're still students and we still have families. Some of us have children, some of us have rent, some of us have all this stuff to pay. We shouldn't be paying for education.
Yeah, I have about $47 in my bank account right now, so I 100% agree with Jeremiah. That was actually one of my original campaign slogans, was to make sure students know what they're paying for, essentially, because we were both in biotech together when we paid for Top Hat. We all know what that is about. But I am a very collaborative, not a competitive person. As PSA Vice President, I would like to completely just rethink the way that we do service events in the College of Pharmacy. I believe that a decentralized way, by having the groups and clubs design their own service events, is just an inefficient way of doing so. I think a centralized, either like a calendar event or something like that, way to really consolidate all of the service events that are available throughout the semester would be a better way to get more people involved, help more people out in the long run, and get more people to do community service within the community. So that'd be one thing that I'd institute as a PSA vice president.
Thank you all both for that. Those were both great answers. We're gonna move forward with PSA president candidate, Andre Nguyen.
Hi, everyone. My name is Andre Nguyen, and I'm a P2 student running for Xavier PSA president. I feel that when I first came to Xavier from LSU, I didn't know anyone. It was hard to get to know people, and that was in person. I can only imagine how it could have been for the P1s today. So why am I running for PSA president? One, I feel, is experience. These past 2 years, I was blessed with the opportunity, thanks to my class, to lead as P1 and P2 class president. My hope is that the push won't have to be as hard for the next P1 class or just anybody who wants to get out there. And how are we going to do this? With food drives that's set in uniting each class, school giveaways, or just social food events when everything gets better. That's another thing, online and in person. I feel that I'm equipped in leading the pharmacy student body, whether it's online or in person, because I've had experience in leading before and after COVID. I honestly feel like my entire time here at Xavier was in putting together all these events, like a feminine hygiene drive, a Secret Santa for my class, or the countless food drives, was just practice for this position for everyone. In the past week, I had a campaign platform which granted me an opportunity in making a donation drive to an organization, No Kids Hungry. Thanks to my classmates in the P3, P2, and P1 class, my campaign was able to raise some money. It wasn't $1 million, but it's enough to make a difference. That feeling is unforgettable, and my goal in running for PSA president is to allow every single one of you to feel that difference. If we all can work together as a student body towards these causes, we can change the world. That power, it's strong and unforgettable, and if given the opportunity to lead our student body, I won't disappoint, and I'm ready to serve side by side with my colleagues. I want not to only continue the traditions, but enhance it with my visions. Thank you everyone tonight for coming out, and yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much, Andre. So we're gonna do your question portion and we'll end it up. So what are some ideas you have for improving communication between PSA and the students?
Definitely. So for my class, I basically release monthly newsletters. And as Malia Mayweather said, I also sent out Google Forms for whenever we had tests and everything so that I could gather all the questions and concerns my classmates had. Hopefully I can bring that to the entire student body after every event. Every event we can send out a form and all that, and asking what they saw was great, what they saw needed like fix-ups and everything. And also having everyone informed in the monthly newsletters that I plan to deliver to y'all.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so this concludes the forum, and on behalf of the SGA and PSA, we'd like to thank all the candidates that have made it this far. I know this campaign season was very different with the new rules in place and the virtual setting that we've been in. So y'all definitely deserve a round of applause. But yes, so good luck and congratulations in advance. As always, if y'all have questions, please email SGA Elections, and remember that voting begins on Thursday, the 25th at 10 a.m.
Hey, Amaya, this is Ms. Sarahs, and I just wanted to say just a couple of things.
Yes,
I want to say congratulations to all of you already, because you already took a first step to trying to run for a leadership position. Maybe it's your first time, maybe it's your second time, maybe it's third, fourth. But I want to thank all of you for taking time to put yourself out there and doing a great job of trying to lead. So if you don't win, please don't get discouraged, run for other things and still participate. We need all the help we can get. So thank you all so much, and I wish you the best of luck.
Alrighty, Erica and Rashad, I know y'all are on. Do y'all want to say anything?
Hey everyone, I want to just agree with what Ms. Sarrazin said. I also want to give a special shout out to our SGA and PSA representatives. Y'all did a great job organizing this. Everything was so great. I'm very impressed with how everything turned out, and I'm extremely proud of y'all. This has been a very rolling time, and we've been dealing with the punches, and y'all did great. To all the candidates, congratulations to everyone that has won your position already. I want to commend you all for stepping up to the plate. I've seen a lot of new leaders, and it is very inspiring to see you guys step up to the plate and go for a role that you have never been in before. So I want to commend you all and good luck on your campaign. And we'll see what happens after voting.
Thank y'all.